What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room. I'm back at you with another video. Listen, this is your Traders War Room special. We got our interview with Sain. Finally, man, I've been talking to this guy for a while. We got the interview. He is a professional through and through, and it was a fantastic interview, not only highlighting Black History Month, but also entrepreneurs and motivating people to build and go for their dreams. Okay, he is a fantastic interviewer, and I think you guys are going to enjoy what he has to say. I know I learned a lot, and he's dropping a lot of knowledge on us, and it's worth your while to pay attention. But let's go through the particulars right now so that we can get to the interview. We want you to check the description tab out. We got tons of Traders War Room and Sain links right there at the fingertips. Legal disclaimer, not financial advice. The content was for entertainment and education purposes only. You're responsible for every move you make. We want you to have fun, use caution, but always go to war. Traders War Room Discord, this is our flagship, okay? Truly a one-stop shop. Do yourself a service and come check us out, okay? We got free and paid services, a community of like-minded individuals. We really got something special over there. Come check us out today. You won't regret it. The traderswarroom.com, it is up and running, and it is refined and completely overhauled. We got a professional guy doing things on the background, and he's making this a very upbeat and a very professional side, okay? Everything's becoming automated. You can go there, get your upcoming classes right from the website. You can get the historical classes and view them right from the website. Everything's click button. Come check us out today. Business hours, 7 to 7, Monday through Saturday. We take Sundays off and federal holidays off for processing orders. We got one-on-one mentoring. Check out the website. Book your appointment today. We got initial and follow-ups. We are glad to help you out, and you can read the analyst bios and pick the analyst that suits your needs. Our Zoom classes are popular. 15 bucks a pop for the content we push out is extremely affordable and well worth your investment. Upcoming this Sunday, we got Mr. Taxman, okay? You taxes and investing. He's going to go over everything tax related that is going on with the stock market, you investing, 401ks, IRAs, you name it, he's going to talk it at $15 for a real CPA accountant guy to answer questions. You can't beat that. Kicking off in March, we got entries and exit points. If you struggle getting into trades and out of trades and being profitable, this is the class for you. Again, $15 a pop, cannot beat this. We want to thank you guys. And as always, we look at the stock market like a war zone. Stocks and sectors are our battle. We're doing it together as a team. Now, if that sounds good, you're ready to rock with us. And all I got to say to you is follow me. Let's go to war together.
What's going on, Chuck? How you doing?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Man, happy to hang out with you, man. That's how I'm doing, man. How's your morning going so far?
It's going okay. Just kind of going through the normal things, cleaning out some, some fans, as you like to call them.
Yeah.
Starting to get to those fan area, which is great, but definitely I appreciate you taking this interview. It's something I like to do during months that we're highlighting certain things, and and of course giving the opportunity on your server. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to kind of show some love, and I think it'll be good for people out there, because being a young entrepreneur and highlighting Black History Month is fantastic.
Chuck, man, I want to first tell you I appreciate you holding us down in the Discord. They love you, man. So what you guys don't see, the flip side, and I'm gonna talk about this the next time we do a live chat. So every day I talk to the family that's part of the Discord and on our YouTube channel, and they rave about you, man. And so I don't know if I do the best job of reciprocating the love and energy you guys get on a daily. So I do coaching calls 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to upwards of 30 something people. And Chris, the Discord is so helpful. I follow Chuck and Zaddy, or who they are, fine who they are, who they mesh well with. But I just had to tell you, man, I was telling my wife about you this morning. I was telling her who I was hanging out with today, and just how helpful and much of a assistance you guys have been for me, because I I run a tight ship. My plate is full, if you will. Like
Yeah.
I mentor a bunch of youth in the community. I run real businesses. Then I do YouTube. Then I have coaching calls. Then you got to spend some time researching plays, or people sometimes call with stocks that I'm not necessarily looking into. So then I want to dive into those on their behalf. And so you and the rest of the family, man, you guys make life a little bit easier for me. So I wanted to let you know I appreciate you. So I was like, man, when you talked about doing this, I was like, man, let me connect with Chuck and let's get it in. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here today.
Well, I appreciate it. And I was talking with Isaiah, and of course, he expressed the same thing. You're a busy man, and and I get that. I can tell, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to connect. I don't know if back in the day, if you remember, I was like putting little YouTube comments on it, like, "Hey, I'd love to do an interview with you," but
Yeah.
I'm one of 1,000 people sending stuff at the time. So
I thank you for being persistent though. I remember that and I get those to this day. Like I had to prioritize. I said, man, Chuck been reaching out for quite some time. Because some other ones came in as well, but I was like, you know what? I'm not meeting with anybody until Chuck is met with, and then I'll entertain all the other requests because they fill up quick.
Yeah.
And then when you relatable, people feel more comfortable reaching out to you. So I love it. I just know I've been seeing you knocking on the door for a long time, and I'm looking. That's why I was telling my wife, like, man, I gotta hang out with Chuck this morning, man, before the month is out. But more that because you have been so persistent, you've been reaching out, and so and I just wanted to connect with you anyway, love on you a little bit, tell you how much I appreciate you, and then just hang out today.
Yeah. And I told Isaiah I would be a little more active in the chat groups, because I noticed something that as I got busy, as I got more popular, kind of the growth was happening rapid.
Yeah.
A lot of the administrative details of running a business, you kind of have to take on yourself before you start to put the pieces in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going back through some Discords, and I was like, man, I'm not following up with these questions. They're putting questions in the chat groups, and it's just like my bot is just being a robot. Mm-hmm. And so I told Isaiah, I was like, I'm going to get in those chat groups and be, more of a person, so that people don't just think it's a bot. Win or lose, it's just a robot throwing out some stuff saying, hey, good job, guys. Great job. So we win some, we lose some,
Yeah.
No one losing wants to hear a robot saying, thank you. Come again. I mean,
I know, man. You're right, though. Stand up on the administrative side. Sometimes between me and you, Chuck, sometimes not in the Discord, but I'm talking about on YouTube, the hate, the fans, if you will. I like your word. We'll call them fans.
Well, I got it from you.
they deter you from fully commenting and engaging every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And so it was a period where I had to deal with that and kind of get past that. Like, because to your point, Chuck, I did a poor job of maintaining and managing that. Like, to me, I let too much hate go on without blocking people, without getting rid of people, without and I'm not the person that's going to censor you, because that's not my issue. But if you're just sole intentions, like I'm not on stuff like Reddit, but the Reddit fan crowd sent me their plan of attack. Like, we're going to hate on Chris, no matter if he's great or not. Let's spam all his videos, spam everything he does on social media, spam his comments. And so they shared with me their plan of attack. Like, they were trying to let me know we're about to ruin your. So it was more like, dang, like I could have cleaned. I knew the attacks were coming, but I could have went in the comments and blocked some stuff, or just because although I was letting it ride, Chuck, sometimes other innocent people can come across that and be swayed one way or the other too. And I'm looking like, and so I feel what you said about, even though yours is on getting back in there and on the administrative side, connecting with people, whether they lost or you don't want a bot responding.
Yeah.
I wasn't responding at all. And that's not the best way to handle it either. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, man, I feel you.
Well, kind of rolling into one of the interview questions then. So for other people that may not be at the, at the level that you're at, right? As far as, followers and stuff like that, but they're young and they're hungry and they're starting up, with maybe a company size, my size, that is starting to get some hate now, which, once you start getting hate, you kind of know you kind of reached a little success platform.
It's actually a good barometer. It is.
Yeah.
It's
but what some advices that you would give out from lessons learned approach that like you just spoke about, but anything of kind of how to manage and mitigate maybe the mental aspect and stuff of the fans, as we call them.
Absolutely. Great question, Chuck. First thing I would say is embrace the hate.
Yeah.
and embrace the hate, because you are right. It's also an acknowledgement that you're reaching a level that somebody you're worth hating on. You got to actually be doing something to garner criticism. Okay. And so what one has to realize is, if you don't want to receive hate and or criticism, don't do anything, and then you don't have to worry about being hated on. So it's actually a good thing. The thing that I would say is, and I think you're going to do well with this, Chuck, just how your temperament is, you have to know when you sign up for being in a Patreon, running a YouTube channel, running a business, you have to know that comes with the territory. So already be mentally prepared and tough. Also have thick skin and don't personalize everything, because a lot of the fans, that's what we'll use today, they're nameless and faceless entities. Yeah. They're just spewing maybe some hurtful words, but we don't even know them for real. We don't even see them, or we'll never see them. And so if you can learn to just know, what, if it don't apply, let it fly, or I'm going to make sure I block that person, or I'm going to delete that comment, whatever a person's strategy is, as long as you implement it, you'll be okay. You just have to know that comes to territory. But I would say embrace it, embrace the hate, know that it comes with the territory, but it also is validation that you're on to something. They're trying to silence your voice or your momentum because you are preparing, Chuck, to help hundreds or thousands, if you will, change their life for the better.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned that the first fan mail we got on the Discord, I actually highlighted it. I said, I told everyone, I was like, hey, y'all, check this out. I think we might be on our way to making it, because we got our first hate mail, and here it is. And, I take this as, what, we're doing something right, because someone's unhappy with something, and, you got to be politically correct and all that. But yeah. I was actually happy that we got it, because we'd had nothing but, oh, you're great, it's awesome, blah blah blah. And that's not true, man. There's someone out there that doesn't like something about this. I need some feedback.
And that's where you're on point at. You need it for balance sake, and you need it because you're right, nobody is 100% happy. But the thing you said that's profound, that I wanted to touch on as well, that you mentioned you got your first bid and you highlighted it, and you got to be politically correct. Listen to this, Chuck. When you're at, just say 10,000 subscribers or below, you can kind of entertain the fans, if you will.
Yeah. What
I did realize, my channel went from 1,000 to 10,000. Yeah. And I'm about organic growth. So this is real growth organically though. But then when I hit 300,000 subscribers, Chuck, listen to this close for your viewers and your listeners. A couple things, the hate intensifies. So we'll deal with that later. But what you have to remember, because it's going to happen for you, you're going to get to this level. And what happens is this, Chuck, you can't handle everything in, like you said, you got to be politically correct, because more eyeballs are on you now. Yeah. And what you say can get misconstrued or took out of context, and that could come back on you, whether lack of views or people unsubscribing or different things like that. So I just wanted to point that out to your audience to be mindful that as you get bigger, you can't fight hate with hate. You might have to ignore it, take it, or in my case, I just protect my peace. I don't even look at it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I know it exists, like you said. You know, everybody's not 100% happy. I know it exists, but I just say, you know what? I'm focused on those that are trying to learn. I'm focused on those that want to build wealth. I'm focused on those that want to get out of debt. And I just keep the main thing the main thing.
Well, and rolling into another question, because you highlighted it, as far as being politically correct, that's absolutely right. Once you get to a certain level, you do some. When I was reading your website, you got some like coaching and mentoring thing, but it's like public speaking.
Yes.
How when we're interacting with different particular people that may have a different idea or whatever, how important is, being a good public speaker, being able to enunciate your words, get your thoughts out clearly to the audience. What drove you to wanting to teach people how to, talk well and speak well in a public forum?
Yeah, Chuck, public speaking and communicating and articulating in general is very key in terms of conveying your message or getting others to understand what it is you're trying to convey. So public speaking for me, I started in, I'm a paid public speaker. So before COVID, I was going around the country talking at colleges, universities, and I've been doing this in a paid capacity since 2014.
What and you mind if I ask, it's not stock related, is it just more?
Yeah, that's true. It's not stock related. What happens is this: people call you to talk about success, or leadership. Chris, can you come talk to our company about leadership? Or Chris, can you come talk to our companies about overcoming failure or dealing with disappointment? They'll have a list of kind of topics that they'll fly you around the country to come talk about, whether it's to their staff, their department, to the school, to the students, to a team. And what you do, Chuck, the name of the game is this: you have a message that's consistent. You just tweak it and tailor it to, let me talk about the disappointment piece of my story, or let me talk about the little piece of success that I had in my story to meet what they brought you out to speak about. You get what I'm saying? And so listen to this really quickly. So a quick 30-second pitch is, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but one of my brothers went to prison for 25 years and I had a master's degree by 24. How did we come from the same exact house, same exact upbringing, but we've been on 2 different paths? So when I go to speak, they're blown away by the different dynamic of, damn, you got a brother that did 25 years in prison. You had a master's degree by 24. Let's hear how you navigated versus how he did. And what are some takeaways we all can learn? Boom. Right then and there, I start off every message with a similar story intro. And then I go into, what did they bring me here to speak about? It might be failure, disappointment, poverty, success, saving money, 2-parent household. It could be any variety of things, Chuck. And then you just kind of make the message concise towards, again, the theme of the conference, the theme of this keynote, or what they actually brought you there for.
Nice. And it all comes down to those pieces, like you said, the communication, leadership, struggles, trials, tribulations, and how to be resilient and, come out on the better end with all of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to your last point about just the importance of communicating, sometimes, Chuck, see, you're one of the cool cats, man, but sometimes people need people that they can relate to.
Yeah.
People that they can, like, a lot of my YouTube growth, whether it's white or black, they say, Chris, you're down to earth, or Chris, I can have a beer with you, or Chris, I relate to just how you talk. You're not trying to talk over our heads. You don't try to overcomplicate things or be condescending in your tone. So the enunciation, the articulation, the ability to formulate and conjugate verbs, those are the things that helps you convey your message. Yeah, I might have a fitted on. Yeah, I might not have a suit on. But when you hear one speak, you can tell, okay, he's intelligent, he's knowledgeable, he's informed, and that connects with people unconsciously and indirectly.
Yeah. Well, and in your outfit, that's your brand. That is your
brand.
uniform. That is your uniform.
My uniform.
I got my wife made me one.
Sweet. The Trader War Room. The Trader War Room. I see you.
Yeah. We're trying to come out. You know, she wants to go into start making some merchandise and stuff, baby steps, of course. But you know, I wear it everywhere I go. And I actually saw someone where I'm stationed at right now that had a Trader's War Room shirt on. He got it off the website link I did. And I looked at him and I was like, hey, where'd you get that from? Oh, I followed this thing on Discord, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool, man. Nice shirt. I didn't tell him who I was, you know. But I left it at that. And I was just like, okay,
that's awesome.
That's one where I live. That's one.
That's awesome. And you'll be surprised how many more it is. And when you become intentional, like you said, I'm happy you caught on to it's your wardrobe, it's your work outfit, it's your uniform.
Yeah.
Because it ultimately, like the more you continue to help people knock them out the park and hit all those home runs, Chuck, if you start to say, and it's just a quick little tip, if you start to say, if I helped you in any way, please show love by purchasing one of my Trade War Room shirts. If you tie your helping them to them helping you, people love to pay it forward. We got one of the best communities on YouTube because they really want to thank you when you help them. Like they go, like if I showed you my my fan mail, now this is not the hater fan, this is the real fans, but fan mail and the stuff they send you, they even made this. This is from a YouTube family. This is
nice.
This stuff is not me. This is stuff they make for me. And it's all kind of stuff. I got all kind of like souvenirs, or if they hear me say a word, Chris, they created something for all my lingo, but they'll do that for you. And I love to hear that you got and you seen someone with your sweater on, because I'm telling you, you'll be surprised that they'll engage with you in that manner.
Yeah.
And
it's good. And and I know you're busy, so I got just a couple more questions, and we'll go on to talking about kind of the business, the public speaking, getting into the leadership things, the idea of connecting with a fan. I'd like to know kind of some mentors or some people that you grew up really connecting with that kind of maybe built your type of ideas and thinking. This man is a well-dressed, well-spoken man. I'd like to be like him. I'll give you an example. One of the guys I used to love listening to back in the day, and I can't remember his name right now, but he was a gentleman that would go on TV, and of course this is back in the black and white YouTube TVs days, and I would watch him because it was one of the channels. I grew up very poor, so we had like 2 channels that came on the rabbit ears.
Yeah.
And I would listen to him. He'd get on stage and he would talk, and he was, the inflection of his voice was up and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to be like him. I want to speak like he speaks. I don't want to be monotone like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I don't want to be like that. I want to speak where, I got some inflection in the voice. People will believe what I'm saying because they know it's coming from me, and I want to speak the truth. So growing up, did you have any mentors that really kind of shaped who you are today, and you've just kind of morphed into your own person, but with some, tools and tidbits from them?
Yeah, there were always some influences out there, Chuck. For me, my background is rooted in sports. So my first set of influencers came from great athletes, but that conducted themselves phenomenally off the court or off the field. So Emmitt Smith would be one. My favorite player of all time, my favorite running back, but I loved him off the court too. Off the field, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like he just was a good guy, humble, did for the Dallas community, that kind of thing. So I was always gravitating to that. And then locally, man, there were people, there was this one guy in my community, he always gave out $2 bills. And everybody in the community loved him. Of course, might be because of the $2 bill, but he was just a phenomenal guy too.
Yeah.
And then I had this one guy, he wasn't a Muslim or Nation of Islam, but he dressed up and always wore a bow tie. And just the fact that he cared about his appearance, that stuck with me too. And so to your point, it's all about gleaning different inspirations from various people. And so for me, again, it starts with sports for me, but then I can look around my high school, my middle school, my community, and they might not have been influential as far as I want to be like them, but it was just something you might say, man, I like how I love humble people, for instance. Listen to this real quick. I love, now that I'm a millionaire, I know I want to be a humble millionaire. Listen to this. For instance, Chuck, I've been around people that it's kind of what you said, and this is why I'm loving on you. You know how you said you saw somebody with a Trader War Room shirt on, but you didn't go out of your way to say, hey, that's me. That's me. That's my, I love that. I was hanging out. I went to Michigan State. My wife and I, we both went there, and I was hanging out with a guy. He was a very prominent MSU alum. And when you met him just in the community, he just seemed just real passive. But then he was like, hey guys, we should have a watch party at my house. Chuck, when I say, when we got to his house was immaculate. His hosting skills, his humbleness, everything about him I loved. And I was saying to myself, that's how I want to be.
Yeah. And
he didn't make reference to wealth. He didn't make reference to anything, not one time, but you can tell he had it. And you wouldn't even knew how he acted in the community. He just more like, he'll let everybody else get the attention. He just fly by the wayside. But when I seen his home and I seen how he treats his wife and I seen how he lived, I was telling my wife, like, it ain't the Jay-Z's, it ain't all these prominent, it's the people like him. His name is Eddie Stevens. I was like, it's the people like Eddie that I like and I gravitate towards, or that I want to emulate and be more like as I get older, get more mature myself. And so that's a great question, but it's people like that.
Yeah. And moving on, and I agree with you. I remember we had an older gentleman, and he was, we called him Pa. He was like the grandpa of the neighborhood, and he would give silver dollars.
Yeah.
If you did something, if you came by, he'd ask you a question. And it could have been just like, are you doing well in math or something? And it's like, yeah, I'm doing good. He's like, well, if I had $5, he'd ask a question, something like that. And if you got the answer right, or you attempted it, even if it was wrong, he'd be like, you know what? Keep learning, keep going to school. And he'd like do a little shoot out a silver dollar, and I was like, oh, you got the dollar. Oh, I'll get it next time. And he was a good guy. He was the neighborhood Pa. So I liked how you had it's those community guys. Yeah. It doesn't have to be the flamboyant ones out there letting everybody know. It's the guys that are right there that kind of make and shape you. I want to be like him.
Yeah.
Be like him.
Yeah.
And well, moving on, we're almost done. I appreciate your time. I'd really like to get being an entrepreneur, whether it be with your successful, books that you have out there, your public speaking, just kind of your entire empire, if we'll call it, your business that is Chris Sain. So for people that want to strive to that level and want to have something like that for their own, do you have any kind of people that had similar like business models that you followed, or specifically, and I'd like to, if you do have it, business type of moguls or models, since it's Black History Month, if you had any that were tied to the Black community, mentors, or just this guy's way of doing business or this guy's empire. I like it because it's in a bunch of different things. I want I want to model mine after his, and then eventually it creates its own thing like you have. Got
That's a
any of
great,
those type of?
that's a great question too, Chuck. The moguls I would name, or entrepreneurs, Jay-Z would be one.
Yeah.
I alluded to him. Puff Daddy or Diddy would be another. LeBron James off the court, not the hooper, but the LeBron businessman off the court, I love.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson would also be another one that is influencing. And then rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I love what he was doing off the court, venture capitalist, the body drink, all of those things. So listen to this. They all have influenced me in one shape, form, or fashion. I always desired to write a book because, like I told you, my brother, I saw my first death happen at 13, and my brother went to prison, and he had been in there for 20 plus years. So we were always told we would be dead or in jail coming up in my community. So I wrote a book to kind of show how I navigated. So the book started the launch pad to all of it was a springboard to speaking. It was a springboard to entrepreneurship, because although my books are in all the bookstores, you would also sell a lot of books out the trunk or on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the book made me be like, man, I got to button my business up. I have to have, like, when they book you to speak, they want you to do a back of the room book signing. So I had to, like, okay, I got a speaking fee. Then I'll also have 100 books be purchased in order to come speak. So now I got two streams of income, the speaking and the book sales. So then that made me say, well, I'm building this traction. I'm getting this low level notoriety. What else could I do? And so I've always been into sports and education. So my nonprofit, this right here, Grand City Sports is what it's called, committed to influencing today's youth. That's what the city means.
Yeah.
And so I knew how important mentorships and having a mentor and positive role models was. And so we use sports to keep kids out of trouble, to help them stay in school. We give thousands of scholarships away annually just to make sure kids are going to college. And I used that business and what I thought was helpful for me, that it could potentially help others. And so that was an entity. But then that brought another notoriety, like, oh, you this community stalwart, you do so much for the community, you do so much for the youth. So then that opened up other opportunities. And then from there, I was just very strategic and calculated, Chuck, with, like, you know what? I have speaking, I have books, so I got products. Then I added services, because to your point, people want to know how they can replicate or duplicate or get started. So then I started consulting, then I started coaching. Okay. And then over the years, I would just out of just an attempt to just share what I'm doing, I would be like, oh, my wife and I debt free. So then people wanted to know, how did you guys become debt free? Like, man, we save 70% of our income. We invest in the stock market. Oh, you invest? Then that caught people's attention. Oh yeah, I've been investing in the Vanguard, VTI, VNQ, VYM. Like, so now it's becoming more mainstream now, but I've been doing it a long time. And I remember when it wasn't mainstream and people didn't want to talk about money, but I've always been talking about it, and it just became something that people gravitated, especially today. They gravitate more towards it. It's more common to talk about investing, stocks, crypto. It is not as taboo as it was even 5, 6, 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a business-minded person. My mind thinks business for everything. And all of those things I just talked about was a culmination of me saying, you know what? I got this arm of business, coaching and consulting, speaking, how to write a book, how to become a speaker, coaching and consulting, stocks, how to build wealth through investing. Then the world changed from digital, like Facebook type stuff, to like digital content. So then I just became like, you know what, I'm gonna just share like how you and I are doing this morning. I'm gonna just share with others what I do, what I've done. Therefore, I don't have to make up anything. I'm just talking my real life. I'm talking about things I've really done and really achieved, really accomplished. So there's no harm in that. Nobody can say, you didn't write a book. Oh, yes, I did. I wrote 5 of them. You didn't do this. Oh, yes, I did. And so, but what happens is the world comes around you and brings like-minded people into your atmosphere. And then I was able to meet a Chuck, or somebody like yourself. I was able to meet an Isaiah. All these people that I didn't even know existed in the world that also wanted to talk about stocks, money, investing, being debt free, financial literacy, FIRE, financial independence, retire. All of these people now I see exist in the world. When I felt alone and isolated for all these years, like, man, don't nobody want to talk about money. Don't nobody want to talk about how to invest and being long-term investors and holders. And
Nobody's
so,
interested in this stuff, man. What's
exactly.
wrong with you people?
And so when you guys all came along, it blew my mind, but it opened me up to, man, there are people out here that want to talk about these things, that want to discuss these things. And I'm just thankful that I have a little small platform, then I pay it forward by sharing my platform with individuals like yourself. I'm gonna help try to raise your platform or drive more people to you and what you do, because that's another thing, Chuck. It's enough light for all of us to shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I often, and I gotta encourage you guys, I'm loving that you started your own stuff, but I often encourage that. Like, you might even take 3,000 of my Discord members with you to wherever you like, and that's okay. Okay, because it's enough room for Chuck to not only continue to bless those you're blessing, but also create your own platform, your bit. You already got it down pat. I see the sweaters, I see the people you're helping win on a regular, but that's what it's about, because that's what we are given the platform for, is to allow others to be a launch pad for what they need to do. Because listen to this, Chuck, no matter how good I think I am, I still can't reach some people you can reach. It's some people in your community or where you're stationed at right now that you will be better suited to lead and guide them just because of proximity.
Yeah.
Just because you know this stuff. I'm way in Michigan and it's freezing cold and snowing cats and dogs here right now. And it's some people I'm not going to reach, but there's some people wherever you're located at that if once they get aware of who you are and know that you offer what you offer to people, you're going to be right up their alley. And they're going to be like, you know what? Chuck is my guy. And I'm going to say major salute, because Chuck is built for this and he can reach some people who I can't reach. And I understand that.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, just a quick background. When we started this thing, I started it with some retired military veterans, because I'm military, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Traders War Room, you can kind of tell the name of it. Let's go to war.
Yep.
And our structures, all I know is military. I'm a military careerist, so all I knew was planning, training, managing, securing. Operations.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, well, how can we do this? I'm interested in this, and I was helping soldiers with finances, because there's a lot of soldiers that are transitioning, getting out to go be civilians.
Yeah.
And they were coming out trashed financially.
Yeah.
3 ex-wives, alimony payments, debt here, debt there. And I was like, let's look at where you can make some changes. Dave Ramsey's one of the big guys that was hired to utilize for financial education within the military system. And that stuff. But then I got a lot of requests, because they would invite their friends and they were like, hey, I'm not military, but I know someone that told me about this thing. And so we had a talk with the guys, and we were like, hey, should we just keep it exclusive to soldiers and, veterans and stuff like that? And people were like, no, let's open it up. And we were like, you know what? Hey, if you're like-minded, and we put that in our philosophy, and the long gist of it is we wanted to truly create that community, like you said, of like-minded individuals using the stock market to spark ideas and thought-provoking content to be better.
I love it.
And I appreciate that. And like I told you, I think this will be a great catalyst. And I appreciate you saying that, using this for platform, there is enough light for everyone to shine. Obviously you, you had the name and the brand, and I like your name and the brand. I tell everyone all the time, hey, check this out. I even got on my YouTube channels. I have I call it the Market Coalition. But I have your link there as part of the Market Coalition. I'm like, hey, check this out. If you like me, check this out. This is someone I like. I follow him, and so I appreciate you allowing me to grow and share, because
absolutely,
ultimately, you're not going to do this forever. I'm not going to do this forever, and we need to have journeymen coming right behind us.
Absolutely, we have to be building others up. We have to be bringing others along. And that's what I love about what you're doing too, Chuck, because that's what it's about. None of this is about me and you individually. It's about us putting what we know out in the atmosphere, but hopefully others are gleaning from it, and then they carry the mantle after you and I are gone, or we go off into something else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. So long as I'm here, man, you will not only be on my team, but I'm going to help elevate what you do, your platform, shout you out, promote our talk today, because again, man, like I say, I'm just big on not only paying it forward, but loving on people, connecting with good people, like-minded people, like you alluded to earlier, but also just, like I say, this is an opportunity. One thing YouTube has taught me, it's a big, big world.
Yeah.
A major YouTuber having a bunch of subscribers don't got no impact on me growing my tribe.
Yeah.
Like it's some people, you'll be amazed. You would think everybody watched this one YouTuber because they're super big or something like that. And then you'll talk to them, they never heard of them.
Yeah.
And it shows you, like I keep telling you, you got to reach who you're called to reach. And it's going to be somebody that's going to love Chuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about whether that's 10,000 people or 100,000. We don't need a lot of people, Chuck. We just want to attend to those that are tuned in. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I was going as hard when I had 100 subscribers as I do at this level. Yeah. Because it's just about serving people. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so, no, I'm excited for you, man.
What is that called? The servant leader.
The servant leader. Yep. That's
servant
exactly
leader.
What it is. That's exactly what it is.
Well, I appreciate this. This was a great interview, highlighting a lot of good knowledge. I think people that actually pay attention to this when we put it out will get some value and worth, a lot deeper than just, buy Apple here and sell Apple there,
Right.
Like you said, some deep thought-provoking content.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you for having me, Chuck. And it was nice hanging out with you today, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just a real quick, just so I understand, are you good with me editing this a little bit, but then I'm pushing it on my YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Do what you need to do, edit it, push it on your YouTube, and then send me the link. I'll share it on your behalf on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, just to put it out there. I'm gonna say, check out this podcast I recently did with my buddy Chuck at Trader War Room, and just give it a little, and I'll tell them, of course, call to action is to like and subscribe to your channel. So yeah, you clean it up for us, make us look good. And when you get it ready and to your liking, you just send me the link, and then I'll post it and share it as well.
I will do. I appreciate it. And thank you. And like I said, I think it was a good interview. I love doing things like this. And I think you're an inspiration. You've inspired me, I'm sure. And I know you've inspired other people, and, them fans, let them keep coming. That just means we're doing something right.
That means we're doing something right. That's so true, man. Love you, Chuck, man. And you take care, buddy. And like I say, if I can be of help, don't hesitate beyond what we're doing. You don't hesitate to reach out. I don't care if you got a business idea, or Chris, what you think about my logo? Chris, what you think about what can I do to make my platform? I don't care what the question is. I'm just a vessel here to help.
Yeah. Well, we just recently did the LLC, and
nice.
Yeah, we got the website, so we're legal. We're we're coming with it.
Established. Yeah.
Yep, I'm working on the operator's agreement right now, which is like 20 pages, and it's like, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm having to Google a lot of words because I don't understand that legal jargon that's going on. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who do I pay what to, and
Right.
what's my legal liability?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I do appreciate that. If I got any simple notes that maybe you can hit me up from an established long-term entrepreneur, I'll definitely contact you.
Feel free. Feel
I
free. It'll be my
appreciate it.
honor, man. You take care, buddy.
All right, you too. Thank you, and
All right.
have a good day.
You too. Peace.
Yeah, bye.